Hello, and welcome to another week of Burning Hearts, our 2026 Bible reading plan. This week we are wrapping up our Genesis readings, and we're starting Ephesians. In Genesis, we're reading Genesis 39, 45, and 49. Now, I think I said this last week too. The chapters we are skipping are really important. If you have time to read them, if you can, I want to challenge you to read them. This is the end of the story of Joseph. He's in Egypt and he's become a ruler by this point, and now his brothers, who had sold him into slavery and who basically wanted him dead, end up coming to Egypt needing food, right, to bring back, and that's the drama of the whole story. One of the things that I think is easy to miss, but it's worth pointing out, is the role that Judah has. Because if you remember, Judah was one of the guys that, he was one of Joseph's oldest brothers. He was one of the guys that really could not stand Joseph. He hated him, and he wanted to see him dead. He wanted to see him sold as a slave. But Judah has done quite a bit of growing. He's done quite a bit of growing up. He's learned a thing or two. There's a chapter that we skipped about Judah and Tamar. I think it's Genesis 37 or 38, I forget right now, but he learns quite a bit in that. And here we see kind of the growth and the arc of Judah come full circle, because Joseph is sort of playing his games with his brothers, and he wants the littlest guy to come, and the brothers are like, no, we can't. If we do that, then our father Jacob is he's just gonna die. Like he would be so stricken with grief. And in the end of chapter 44, which is a chapter I don't have you reading, but you should read it anyway, Judah pleads with Joseph for his brother's life. He pleads, listen to what he says in verse 33. Now therefore, please let your servant, please let me remain as a slave to you, to my Lord, in place of the boy, and let the boy go back with his brothers. So basically what Judah is saying is, take my life rather than his. That's quite a change from the guy who wanted to kill his brother. Now he's saying, take my life rather than his. Judah is the one here that really reflects the heart of God. It reflects the heart of self-sacrifice, and it reflects the heart of what eventually Jesus, who is the Lion of Judah, who comes from the line of Judah, Jesus will do. Take my life rather than theirs. And so Judah here is really worth paying attention to. And it is this self-sacrifice of Judah that in the next chapter, just a few verses later, 45, which we are reading, this is what makes Joseph no longer be able to control himself. And he wept, this is verse 2, he wept so loudly, of chapter 45, he wept so loudly that the Egyptians heard it and the whole household of Pharaoh heard it. And it's because Judah finally offers himself. Judah does the selfless thing. Judah offers to give his life. And for Joseph, this is it. And this is what ultimately kind of wraps up the story, or this is what leads to the wrap up of the story. And we see it. This is why it's so important. I mean, we see it reflected in the life and self-giving of Jesus. It's the pattern of standing in for the other is laid even here in these last chapters of Genesis. So enjoy this week of reading. We're going to start Ephesians, which is one of Paul's letters. We're reading Ephesians 1 and 2. Honestly, I think Ephesians is the pinnacle of what Paul had to write. I think it's brilliant, it's genius. The language, the imagery, the theology is stunning, it's sparkling. Sit down with Ephesians 1 and Ephesians 2 and get yourself in it. Get yourself wrapped up in Ephesians 1 and 2. It is beautiful and stunning. And allow it to speak to you, to touch you, to challenge you, to fill you, to encourage you. because it doesn't get much better than that. All right, have a fantastic week of reading.